So welcome everybody to Thursday night. This is something, hi everybody, and welcome to Thursday night. Thank you so much for joining us. We are live streaming, and we thank you to all of those who are listening out there in internet land, all around the world. More than 200 countries at times will listen to our webinars and be part of this. Tonight is going to be an interesting evening. We're going to be recapping and going through some of what the ONPASSIVE journey has been for us. It's also going to be highlighting and going through recapping some of the parts of this past Monday, which was a very exciting webinar with Ash giving us the highlights of where we are going, what is happening. And we also invite all of you, certainly here on the panel and those who wish to join us on the panel, to ask your questions. And we will have an interaction of question and answer as well. So the questions we ask you, please, to keep within the now frame of what we know as of Monday. Things into the future, we don't know until Ash tells us. And we do appreciate you being part of this, knowing the truth, and then helping to spread the truth out to your different groups, your different founders and team members, your different chat groups and that sort of thing. One of the biggest sadnesses at the moment for all of us as leaders, and I'm going to put it into context, every founder is a leader. I want to do a shout out in respect to all leaders, because people have joined ONPASSIVE from 2018 up until now. And some of the leaders, who are all founders, have decided to step up because they've got talents that they know a lot of people and were able to invite people into ONPASSIVE. Others are supportive by joining webinars. Others are supportive in comments in the back office and supporting each other in all of this. But there's also the silent founder. And a silent founder is somebody who may have chosen to be silent and is just positive in the background, knowing that ONPASSIVE is happening. And so they are following this all step by step. They're not needing to get on. They don't need to be a big face to the world. They're very happy with what they are doing. They have their family or they have themselves in ONPASSIVE, and they know this is happening. So every founder is special and every founder deserves respect. Those who came in 2018 and started with all of this with Ash have got a completely different view now of where ONPASSIVE has turned and where we are at. It's quite different from when it started and when the initial thought process with Ash came into effect and being. In 2019, there were a lot more people who joined. It was an absolute gold rush of people who saw this and who felt the incredible impetus of what Ash could be doing to assist the world. 2020 was when the gates just flooded open, and suddenly there were people coming from all corners of the earth. But again, there were different changes throughout the ONPASSIVE journey and the road of ONPASSIVE. And so these are the sort of things whereby, as each founder has come in, there has been a highlight for them or a highlight throughout the year. And we are now sitting with more than 1.3 million global founders. This is huge, everyone. Please realize this. Stand tall, be proud of the company that you are part of, that you represent, and the business position that each one of you holds. Because that's what a founder is. It's a private business that each one of us owns and is then going to be taking forward into the next steps as we continue the launching process. 2021, we continue to build, and we basically doubled the number right there in that year. And again, we learned about the different products, the different platforms, the new positive direction that ONPASSIVE was going in. And that is the trajectory, that is the direction, that is the rocket that we have continued to be part of as it launches into the sky, with 2022 showing us literally launching into the sky with our branding on the Burj Khalifa. Dubai was our launching platform to start to show the world who ONPASSIVE is. So all of this is representative of each one of us, every color, every country. And this is where we have every right to be proud of what we have done in our passive, of our participation, whether it be loud, we could comment like, hey, 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 man, or if it was more quiet, like some of the other more gentler ways of people talking or listening and just being a super positive influence in the background. A founder is each one of you, a leader is each one of you, helping somebody one-on-one, having a phone call with somebody, checking on somebody who's not been well that you've seen and noticed in the chat. That is a founder, that is a leader. So please be aware of what each and every one of you have contributed to where ONPASSIVE is right now. You owe each other a sign of respect, and you owe yourselves a sign of respect of what you have done and where we are at right now. We do have the joy of being able to connect with each other through the internet, through the different groups. But one of the sadnesses that we do observe in many of these chats and groups is that information is being given out that is not always accurate. As a founder, as a leader, each one of you, remember, are leaders. You do have the right to question or ask somebody to please check the facts and even to remove a post if it is not 100% accurate. We don't have to build, we don't have to lie about what ONPASSIVE is. ONPASSIVE is huge. ONPASSIVE is integrity. ONPASSIVE is truth. And the products themselves are going to show the world exactly what we are and what we have. And they will soon learn more and more as our CEO releases the products to us and to the world. So please stand in your own love and in your own understanding of what ONPASSIVE is to help the integrity of ONPASSIVE stay true. Because we all know the truth. If you're on the webinars, if you read the background notes, there are ways of knowing exactly what Ash is saying. We understand that not everybody can make it on a very long webinar. And that's why we're also trying to reduce the length of some of the webinars because it can go on. And in the past, we were there all hours to help people and accommodate everybody. But through technology, we've got some very, very good recording abilities. We're also able to stream so that people can pick this up at any time. And we have wonderful notes in the back office by Peter Srer and Red Redford, who also help us. We also have the lives and those recordings that are given almost every day of the week. And we have other people who are listening to those lives who are then creating and doing their lives as well. Stay with the truth. We don't have to exaggerate. ONPASSIVE is massive. And to try and explain how big it is now to people is going to not help our situation and is really not even going to help others because it is so big. But stay with the integrity, stay with the strength, and exactly what the initial mission is that has never changed with ONPASSIVE. And we are then all saying the same thing. We're also fortunate in our back office to have a link number 51 now that has been coded to us, replicated for us, that we can share with people. And that again is exciting because when you talk to somebody, you can say, now I can send you a link that you can see the additional platforms that have been added, and my registration link is in there as well. So you've got the whole package already started with link number 51. Let's use that. Let's use that as the tool it was meant to be. And you don't have to build on any more hype, but make sure that you do say to them that you were there to help them with any questions that you can either answer yourself or you will get somebody else to join the conversation to help you so that they can better understand. Remember also that people joining as founders is not for everyone. And some people may truly just want to be either a customer or a reseller or not even involved with ONPASSIVE products at all. And truly there is enough for everybody out there. But as people start to see and learn about the brand of ONPASSIVE, the quality and the caliber of what our platform is, what our products are, what the company stands for, does, represents, and is creating, and ultimately bringing to the world, they will then maybe change their mind. And if they don't, that's all right, because there is enough for everybody. But our role with this company in this time is to bring forward the best of what we know we have as it continues to unfold from Ash and what he tells us. I'm going to see if Marty is on now as well, but I think in the meantime, I'm going to ask Chris to jump in now and help us and bring us up to date with his perspectives of some of these things, some of the main issues that have stood out for him. And then Marty's going to come in as well with a recap and a better understanding. If you've not been able to see the 360 with the three gentlemen, Chris, Red, and Marty, and how they broke it down from Monday, we're going to go through some of that recapping. And then we're going to open it to all of you to come forward. And if you've got questions, if there's still things that don't make a full amount of sense, don't be embarrassed. These webinars, and this one in particular, is where we want to help you, because we know that you are then the ripple that sends it out to everybody else as well. And this is where you help ONPASSIVE and you help the integrity of our company. So Chris, I ask you to unmute, please, and to add your incredible insights, because you come across to many people who know you as Captain Chris, hey, 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 hey. And people around the world, and of course I didn't say that properly, and they'll tell me probably later never to say it again, but through his joy and who through he is, people all around the world say that, and that is an automatic greeting. That could almost be like a Mason's greeting. So this is the specialty of this man, the bigness of Chris's heart. But there is also an incredibly intelligent, nurturing, big-hearted man who comes forward as well. And his intelligence and perspective on how he sees and understands ONPASSIVE is truly, truly something to listen to as well. Chris, unmute and say it the way it's supposed to be said, please. I'm not going to say it again.
Hey, Robin, I appreciate all those wonderful words, and it goes right back to how I feel about you. Thank you very much for getting me more red than I already am. Got me a little goofy there. Listen, I was born a long time. Oh, not that. That's a different story. We were all born into ONPASSIVE. If you think about it, every one of you are here for a reason, whether it was because you never really had a good job, or you tried many times online to make money. Because to be honest, making money online the last 15, 20 years, I think everyone has tried one way or the other. And most people, not everyone, gave a whole lot of money, and it failed miserably because it sounded so good. They sold you this line, oh yeah, you give us this, we're going to do it all for you. Well, for the first time in history, we actually got a company that really does it all for you. And my, quick journey here was unbelievable. Every day I woke up to something new. And I started in 2020, in October. And I was blown away by what I seen, what I felt. When Obless came along, I really exploded, and I really just wanted to talk about it. I think every one of us here, there's something in ONPASSIVE for everyone. Let me say that first. But there's a lot of things in ONPASSIVE that connects all of us together. Of course, I believe it's Obless. I'm real excited to see Connect. Every one of these things that we're looking at or we're hearing about as they're coming out is going to teach us all something, and it's going to help us along the way. But for all the things that Ash has talked about, let's see, he's been on quite a bit. So I know not everyone has the asthmaphirophobia anymore where, oh my God, where's Ash? He's showed up consistently on the roundtable on Monday, probably for the last 6 or 7 weeks. He's made appearances on Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. He's all over the place. Does he have to let us know when he's coming on? No, I think it's kind of exciting that he just pops on. To me, it's fun, but where we're all at right now, I think you should be happy. Patience is a virtue. Like I said, see, I got a big sliver in my hand. You know why? Because I had to work with wood, and I got a sliver. When I got into ONPASSIVE, I don't got no slivers. I got no stress. I got no worries, because Ash Mafara took all that off my plate. Him and the staff in Hyderabad, they took it all off my plate. Now I am retired. If I was working the ungodly hours I used to work, I'd probably have a hard time getting on all these webinars, but I promise you this, I'd watch the recordings because some of the recordings out there say some amazing stuff, not just when Ash is on, but when a lot of you speak. I think goodness has been born in every one of us through ONPASSIVE, because I think, this started, 3.5 years ago? A lot of you had different outlooks on life. Maybe like me, okay, I'm retired, that's it, I'm done. Boring. And then ONPASSIVE came along and it lit a fire underneath me. The logs in my fire just keep coming. Every day is just happiness because I do know what's coming. And let's cut the baloney here. Let's cut the baloney. To make money for doing nothing, I've wanted that since I was born. That's the real truth here. And then we're going to be able to take that money that we did nothing for and go out and help people. That's what I got, Robin. If you want to send it back to Marty, I am excited. I love every one of you, and I hope you're excited. If you're not excited, call me, and I guarantee you I will rise you above the top just for saying a few things. Robin, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. I think he catches himself every time he says my name now. The new spelling of my name, according to how Chris pronounces it, is Raaaabin. I'll let you all figure it out and practice on your own time. That's not how I'm going to spell my name on the panel, though. We're talking now at a different level of understanding with ONPASSIVE. And just before I hand this all over to Marty, each one of us, each one of you on here tonight with us, each one of you out there in internet land listening to all of this, whether you are somebody who's watching and not sure about where this is going, or those of you who are founders and you definitely understand and want to be in with this. There is a different understanding. There is a different joy that we are experiencing. And those of us who have been through the last few years and seen Ash put down each brick, every brick representing a step forward, a product, a service, an information piece, can see how this is being built. The yellow brick road to Oz was built a certain way, but this beautiful pathway and road that is leading to ONPASSIVE is also being built by each and every one of the founders. In turn, every one of the leaders. So remember how much you have contributed to this as well. And remember, when you are speaking, you're speaking from the heart now. You're not speaking with a whole bunch of fluff or a misunderstanding of what is happening. We've experienced enough and we have seen the truth of what is happening with every step of the way. Things that Ash said a year ago are coming to fruition now. Things that Ash said 6 months ago are coming to fruition now. Things that he mentioned 3 months ago and 1 month ago are moving forward, and we are part of that journey and part of seeing that come to fruition. So know that what we have is good enough. Know that who you are is good enough to represent this company and to represent your ONPASSIVE company when you are talking about it to other people. Tonight, I feel very special in how this is all unfolding and what is coming forward. So I could keep talking, but my sister knows and Marty and Chris know that I can talk a lot. So I'm going to turn myself off and hand it over to Marty, because his wisdom, his way of deciphering a lot of what Ash says in how Ash says it comes from part of his knowledge, or comes in part from his own knowledge of the technology side, from all the years of what he has done online and learned and taught himself. I couldn't have done this and know the level of technology that he knows, but through certain gaffes that I made, I've understood what my mistakes were, and I'm able to follow what ONPASSIVE is. Many people, many of our founders are not tech savvy. And this is where Marty's understanding of the technology side of it and able to then bring it into regular person communication and wording is a true gift. So we all love and respect him. We all admire him for what he does, what he says, how he presents it. And we also know that we will get our knuckles rapped by him if something is not being said properly or accurately. But Marty is second to one on passive, and we love him to bits. So Marty, please unmute, and it's your turn now. And then we will go into question and answer for everybody who's with us.
Thank you, Robin. Chris, great job. Hello, everybody. Everybody looking good. I see most of you every day, or at least I see your names. Yeah, as you know, my story, I've only said it 500 times, so I'm going to make up a new one. I'm just kidding. I worked online 18 years, my 18th year. Myself and Dan's here and Mike's here somewhere. We built teams of thousands and thousands and thousands of people, many different companies, whatever. The point is we failed. The reason we failed, it doesn't matter. The company that wasn't set up to run. The math wasn't right. They didn't pay right. They weren't legit. They disappeared. And we told people we would help them and we couldn't. Boom. Not a very funny story. And it wasn't a great ending. Not that we couldn't have done it. It's just they weren't set up for it. Here comes ONPASSIVE. What is it? It could take the average person that don't have the skills. And when I say you don't have skills, I don't mean you don't know. You can't know how. I'm saying I was on disability. I did this 12 hours every day for 15 years. A German Shepherd would know after that much time, okay? So I learned how to do it. And when I saw, the more I learned, the more disappointed I was. Why? I was disappointed in gurus because they lied. I think the system put them into this lying circle that they just kept following. All of them keep following this circle of not telling the truth. I don't know whether they mean it, they don't mean it, but I found myself doing it. So thank God, over 3 years ago, we found, or ONPASSIVE found us. Best thing never happened to me. I love the company. I think Mr. Bopar is the most unique individual I've ever met. His whole thought is you. His planning of the business was for you. The way he set it up was to make it easy because, let's face it, most of you have worked 40 to 50 to 60 hours a week. You've got families. Some of you are single parents. And there's no way, I'm not saying this because I think this, there is no possible way any of you, unless you were one of the 1.5%, which we know you're not, none of us here are, that could make it online. So Ask builds this beautiful company. And he said one thing the other day on Monday. He goes, all I ask is give me your trust, your dedication, and patience. And I will build you something that you could only dream of. I believe that. I'm seeing that. Most of you believe it and see it, or you wouldn't be here. But just pass that on. The other thing he said that I really, really enjoyed, and I thought about it a lot after he said it. I am not going to judge people by the level of their skill. That to me was super. Why? Is it fair to judge someone that's here that never built a team, they don't know how to market, and judge them against me, Mike and Dan, or Mike Williams, or somebody that built a large team? Is that fair? No, it's not fair. And if he did it, we are like the other companies. He didn't do that. He's going to judge people the best you can be. I've said this for the last 3 years. Do what you can do. Help where you can help. Everybody here, as I look at them, they've done something that I can't do, or I'm not as good at it as them. That's how we need to be. We don't need another Chris Johnson. Smile if you know what I'm freaking talking about. We don't need another me, right? Well, you don't need it. We need everybody to be different, unique, and unbelievable. And that's what you are. And because of that, because this platform said, Dave Switzer, Gene, Rupa, Willow, all of you, I don't want to mention you all, Listra, Here's a platform for you to shine, whatever you want to do. Reach whatever level you want to reach. If you guys have seen that before, I haven't. Never, never, never. And then we talk about the 97. This $97 is probably the most powerful $97 I've ever seen in my life. What people expect for it, what they think they deserve, are you kidding me? $97 was a token saying, are you serious? A little bit. Because the price should be $97,000, okay? But he didn't. Now I understand when he first started, he said it, hey, I'm making a coffee shop, I'm gonna give you a lifetime membership to drink coffee every day for $97. That would have been a steal. That coffee shop is long gone. What we have now, if you go look up, which we did today, look up the Amazons, look up all these companies and how big they are and we're talking companies that are $2 trillion, $2 trillion companies. All of them started in a garage, in a basement, on the end of a strip mall, and we started at the top. So if they did what they did in 15, 20 years, what do you think is going to happen with us? What do you think the potential could be? And you don't need the skills. You need to have trust. You should be proud of what you have. They brought up earlier when you go to a webinar and somebody says something or a post is there and it insinuates that somebody's part of the company and maybe they're not, whether it's an ambassador or whether it's another scientist or somebody. Why would you deceive? Because you want to know the truth? If you went out right now and told everybody what Unpassive is truly about, you would not get one sign up. They would wrap a jacket on you and throw you in a stretcher because it's already too good to be true. You have to dim the light down to even get people to believe you. It's too good to be true to share it. It really, really is. When I do it, 8 minutes. Bing, 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 bing. Now, when they come in, I give them sunglasses, like I said, and I said, there's going to be a bright light. Try not to look directly into it. That's the truth. That's what Unpassive is. And any market, let me tell you the beauty of this. This is going to be so cool. All the businesses you were in, cryptocurrency. I was in cryptocurrency with Dan and Mike. We lost $30,000, I think, in one day. One day, boom, bing, bop. Let me tell you what that feels like. Grab your bottom lip and squeeze it as hard as you can. Now stretch it over the top of your head. That's what that feels like, okay? Here, if I lose anything, it's a whopping $97, okay? We never paid another dime. But anyway, keep in mind, big things are happening. On Monday was a turn. The Monday before was a turn of a chapter of Unpassive. I decided to take those and break them down as much as I could. What I actually did is took a very long webinar and made a very long follow-up, which was not my intent. But I had to break it down where I would understand it, because how can I explain it to everybody else? So you can watch this in 2 parts if you like. But I've gotten to know Ash fairly well. I have the privilege, I chat with him a few times a week, sometimes, a lot of times. And yes, he's unique. But every time, keep in mind, every time the man you hear, he's constantly thinking about his fellow man. Constantly. And we're about to go into the part where they sell products. And when that happens, it's not brain surgery. That means apples are coming. And we all worry, oh, am I going to get my 3? Trust me, I'm not going to say numbers. I'm not going to say when. But 3 will be least of your problems, okay? You're going to have trouble counting what happens eventually. I want you to keep in mind, full-blown running, this could happen. This could happen, what I'm about to say. 3 million people a day. So if that happens, do the math. We only got 1 million now. Where does that put us all? So potential is very high. I don't say numbers. I don't project when it's going to happen. But I believe with what we have right now, and this is 10% of what we know, all of us will do very well in a matter of time. But you own this company. You're part of this company. We are family in this company. You see wrong, question the person. If somebody gives you a hard time, okay, don't fight. I don't want you to fight. Come tell the fat man from New Jersey, because I don't play that. I don't care who you are. You're going to do the right thing, and we're going to have a major issue. Major. For one thing, I take it personal. Should I? No. In fact, I was told by S, don't take it personal. Can't help you there, I told him. I can't guarantee that. Guarantee I'll be nice. Some of the stuff I'm getting, we shouldn't have to. If my grandchildren do something wrong, you tell them to stop. They do it again, stop. Next time I put them on timeout. I'm not putting a man and a woman in their 40s and 50s on timeout. We're going to smack them down a little bit, because that's the way it's going to go. But it's not a lot to ask. You don't have to hype. It's already hyped too much. Be honest, tell the truth. If you don't know something, say, I'm not sure. There's things we don't know. We're not 100% sure. But I know where we're at now. We started off in Dubai. We are marketing. We are building a brand. People say, I don't understand how that helps. Let me just give you a small picture of that. The Burj Khalifa has signs going up and down it. Unpassive, co-founder, unicorn before it's born. All these little signs. Most of the people there are to see the spectacle of this huge building, the tallest in the world, with all these flashing lights and the dancing water show. But what do they really see? And here they're seeing Unpassive. When they go home and they share it with 10 or 15 people, they're saying, well, that's amazing. I want to go there. Wait a minute. What's that say on there? Unpassive. What's Unpassive? You start that sentence, what is Unpassive? It will set us free. And people are nosy and they're intuitive. They want to know what is Unpassive. So what do? Same thing I do. I Google it. You get one, you get 100,000, you get 1 million, you get 100 million, you get a billion. And this is how this happens. Now, I had somebody ask me, is it over and then we go to the next one? No. You know, ask about stacking. He stacks to cool, he stacks marketing, he stacks advertising. He doesn't stop one, he starts it and he piles on top of it. Because he understands, as smart as this man is, he understands even more about marketing and, hold on, somebody's making noise. You guys are doing a bad job here. There we go. All right, anyway, if they do that again, kick them out. Anyway, so we're in good hands. We don't have to do it. I love marketing, by the way. I absolutely love it. It's like playing chess. Problem is, I lost every time I played, but it doesn't stop me from wanting to do it. But all of you are champions. All of you are unbelievable. I was so fortunate to get to know Dave from Papua New Guinea. I see Papua New Guinea are all over here. They're like a second family to me. Can't you tell we look identical? I'm just kidding. But we are identical inside. All of us. That's what matters. Tall, fat, skinny, bald-headed. Engineer Mike, nothing against you. But whatever, all that doesn't matter, right? It matters where you are inside. So I'm happier than a lark. And if we keep going in the path, Ash will be on a lot, off and on. He also said the 28th we're going to have a big event. We were supposed to. It would happen one other time with Mercedes-Benz. You know, I went around trying to check out what it was. I found a couple things that might have been, but I'm not going to say because I'm not sure. But whatever happens, something to do with the family, the mother is critically ill or in critical condition. So they need prayer. In the next couple of days, if they see that that's not getting better, they're going to switch a couple things and move something else in its place. May not be exactly the 28th, but it's something that was coming anyway. It doesn't postpone any, it just moves in a different spot. Then somewhere between the beginning to the middle of the month of June, we're doing a global event. Big, can be seen from the sky. Now, when he says that, It is literally going to be seen from the sky, not in the sky, from the sky. So, have fun with that. I mean, I did the other one. We're going to stop where your ears pop, and like an idiot, I'm going, start where your ears pop. Okay, he doesn't really mean that. Yes, he did. You go to the 151st floor, your ears pop. Never put it in my head. By the way, Dubai, I thought everybody in digital, in a digital AI company or this type of company want to be in Dubai. Why? It's the center of all of this. It is the mecca of everything Ash is doing. I thought we'll be there in 5 years, and that will be awesome. I did not think we're going to hatch there. I did not think we're going to go there from the beginning. We're going to launch to the world in Dubai. And what does Ash do? I'm going to say the word. Can't think of another word. He's crazy, okay? So he buys, not an office, he buys 2 floors in the Burj Khalifa. What other insane individual would do that? But he did it because he knows where we're going. So listen, I never looked at it this way about a month ago, but he's, what do you call him? He's fearless. He's a gentle, big-hearted, fearless, super intelligent man with a heart, which I can't understand how his rib cage can hold it, doing all this for us. You got to be fearless to know that there's 1 million people on your back. You're walking through cow manure, and you buy 2 floors in the Burj Khalifa. And I think it's a little more than the rent on my house, the mortgage. I'm not sure, but probably every minute. But anyway, so, we should be proud of all that's going on. I know a lot of times people call me, and for the first year and a half, I accepted it. Marty, I don't know. I think this, I think that. Yeah, and I would baby them, and once in a while I'd burp them and let them go back out into the playground. But I don't do that anymore. None of us should do that. You're not helping anybody by doing that. People call me and they want to cry on me or dump trash. I'll say, whoa, hold on a minute. Give me your email. What do you need my email for? How am I supposed to get you a refund if I don't get your email? Oh, I don't want a refund. The next time you want to dump your trash, find someone else. I'm not that person. And don't find anybody on our webinars, and don't find anybody that shows up in the recordings. Well, there's nobody left. Got it. Write that down. Pack that in your pipe. No, I mean, don't even put up with that. You guys have no reason to put up with that. Another thing, going to your family to try to explain on passive, let me tell you what you do instead. You got a hammer, rubber one, I don't want to really hurt yourself. Slam yourself in the head with it 4 or 5 times. If you try to talk to family, you're completely insane. Now, some people get away with it, but if you're me and you marketed for 15 years and I go to my family, hey, I got a really great deal. I used to do that about 12 years ago. I don't even bring it up. All my family's in. My 2 sisters, my children, and my grandchildren. I never told them about it until we went to Dubai. Hey guys, go on YouTube. I want you to watch it. What's it about? Just do it. If you want to be invited for Christmas, you better watch it because I'm going to test you later. They watched it. They called me. Oh my God, is that the company you're involved in? I said, it's the company you're involved in. They didn't complain. I didn't talk to them about the business. It was easy. So don't try to talk to your family. All of you know, smile if you know what I'm talking about. That's what I thought. Anyway, yeah, don't do that. But here's the thing. Stay positive. There's a lot of superstars here that don't think they are. That kind of pees me off too because you are. I see that you are. Help each other. Do what you can do. You can do a like, you can do a post, you can do a share, you can share a post. People are sharing posts and some of them are like making me cry almost. I mean, I'm like, whoa, where's this coming from? It helps people. Just because I got a big mouth and I could do YouTube, I'm not special. I'm just different. Go do what you can do. You guys are here now. You didn't have to be here, but you care. 220 people. That's not bad for a Thursday night, by the way. Anyway, help each other. The Indians, okay, they got a couple bad apples. Do I hate India? Absolutely not. We got some bows heads here too. Now they'll straighten out that mess, and they're going to do a big spectacular thing. And I want everybody to help the Indians and represent them. Why? They're our brothers and sisters too. If they're successful, we are. If Bangladesh is successful, we are. If Africa's successful, we are. Think big. This isn't just us. We make a very small number, by the way. It's the total that makes us unstoppable. It's not just 2 or 3 people or one country or another country and all that. It's everybody. Now, I'm not saying there's not some bad apples there. They will be thrown out. I've helped escort a couple of people out nicely, but they did the same thing. Oh, this is that. Bad mouth got on videos. Boom. You can't find them. They disappeared. I didn't kill them, okay? But I mean, we got rid of them. We shut them up. And Ash said, I can't take all these people that have planted their flag and Unpassive and let a few bad apples ruin it for everybody else. So he's not going to. No matter what you see or what you hear, all these people, ignore them. They're not even a pimple on the butt of Unpassive. Trust me, they're nothing. And they will be, here it goes again. I can't think of another word. Don't be squeezed away, okay? Anyway, the pimple poppers. But anyway, let's keep going with what we're doing. I want to, there might have been a couple, I'm talking longer than I wanted to, but I want to get it out of my system, okay? What was it? Once we get a phase longer. Okay, we're going to go into another phase very soon, which is start what we call marketing or advertising. And then what? We start selling. When we sell, that creates commissions. We get paid by commission. I had a guy write me today. Hey, so it doesn't matter when you got in and how many people you invited. Not on any of the webinars I saw. I said, here's what it is. You got a timestamp. Important. It was then, it is now. If you got a timestamp, you started somewhere before July 20th, 2020, 1,300,000 people came in after you started. Does it matter? Yes. It's very simple. Yes, it does. If you invited people, does it matter? Yes, it does. You get paid directly and you get paid indirectly. When you make a commission, you get paid. When they make a commission, you get a little piece of the commission. We're not using levels. We're not using teams, all that. You got a sales force that works with you. That's who they are. And yes, it does matter. It's got to matter. Now, when we launch, the system goes to work for you. You might not have none, then you'll have 3, then you'll have 30, then you'll have 90, then you'll have 900, then you have 90,000. It could go very, very fast. And I want to tell you, the little things you could do today, a ripple, just a ripple, all of us did it. If all of us did one thing, one little thing, a like, a post, a share, could make the difference of tens of thousands of people joining in months to come. Because it starts a ripple effect. You go bang and you think, oh, that didn't do anything. Trust me, it does. Because there's a million of them. A million drops of water, the ocean, right? I mean, we get bigger and bigger and bigger, and the effect gets bigger, bigger and bigger. It's called leveraging. You matter. There's a lot of people in this company. Don't come to me and act like you don't matter, because that drives me insane. We all matter. All of us matter. So, and don't let anybody think, oh, he's here or she's here and you're down here. That ain't right. Don't be in their webinar. If you get in a webinar and somebody plays Captain Jack or whatever in your privates, there's one thing I want you can tell them. It's as nice as I can be. Bite me and leave. Everybody knows what that means. It's not that bad. I used to talk a lot worse when I was younger. Bite me makes people go, oh, no, that can't be good. And leave them. You don't need to be around. Life's too short. Hold on. I got to get going quick before Robin kicks me off. Okay. Using comment. Okay. Like with posts, okay, I want to make this clear. When you're doing a post, if somebody's doing a post, and a lot of this isn't geared to you guys because you don't do it, but I can't talk to the people that are doing it because I think they might be avoiding me. But it will get to them because I got this going on every YouTube channel. They didn't. I just clicked a button. They were getting it. If you're making a post and you say a movie star's an Unpassive, and you're standing next to them, then you say I'm doing a webinar. Okay, most people would think, oh my God, George Clooney's going to be in the webinar. No, he's not. And it's a lie. And it's deceiving. Once again, that's a lie. Or you put all these people's names in LC, Marty, LC, my behind. I don't know what I don't like the word LC. I don't care about leadership council. We all do what we can do and we help. LC's not that much fun, okay? And we've all been demoted. There is no LC. But we have leaders here that help people. Let them help you. If you don't want the help, tell them, no thanks, I'm happy not knowing. It's okay. But that's all we're doing. We're all here to help. It's not about a power thing. I hate that. I did all that. I worked in many countries and helped build plants, and I never liked this. You're special and you're not. It's a bunch of crap. So, and as you notice, my vocabulary is very strong. Compliance, big deal. Okay. The reason, listen, if you want to, what I've been in companies that actually folded because of what the people were saying about the company, like lying or hyping it up, guaranteed money, guaranteed you're going to get this, guaranteed. Ash never guaranteed $1. He never said money. Never, since I've been here. He talks about value. You do not have to be a mathematician to figure this out. Everybody's buying the products that we're going to sell, and ours will be at a value they can't resist, and the quality will be better. What does that add up to? When you go shopping, do you not look for a deal? Do you not look for value? Of course you do. That's what people do in digital marketing, digital world. They look and say, I could have Zoom. I've got 500 people, 1,000 people, or I've got a whole school, 20,000. That's going to cost me $9,000 a month, or I could get this over here on Passive, unlimited with 40 or 50 other products for this amount, which is 1/10 of what that is. Let me think, do I want to do that? Come on, it's not brain surgery. It's not brain surgery. They're going to do it. We have no competition. Tomorrow, we could find out about the data center, when it's going to launch. I don't care. I know what's coming. The data center means, for us, all of us, I'll keep it as simple as I can. When you sit in your house and you look across the street, you see all the neighbors. You may not like your neighbor, you may not. We own the block. We own the house, the whole block. We own the city. Anything said or done is us. You can't go into Facebook and say something. They take your name and your email and they give it to a company so they can advertise for you without telling you. Because your name and your email is data. When you hear data, and that just scares you. I don't know what freaking data is. Data is your name and email. Anytime you push that button on your computer, that's data. Your social security number, your email, your name, whatever, that's data. It's worth billions of dollars a year. Asked me before, I said, not only are we going to own the vault, we're going to own the money in it, and we're going to own the combination, and it's our vault. That's where we're going. And how did he set it up? Like like the man he is. I don't need to say what I'm going to say. He set it up so that 1 billion people could use it maximized. That's unheard of. That will never happen. He wants the system not to blink if everybody, all 1 million of us, were using every device at its max and it won't blink. Nobody does that. Why? Costs money, big money, big choke a horse money. But you know what? He doesn't care about the money. He cares about being the best. That's what we're moving into. One data center will handle 1 billion people at one time. 1 billion. And he's going to have them on every country in the world eventually. So wrap your head around this. As soon as you think you know, there's more. So be positive. He deserves our loyalty. Be proud of what you got. Don't ever hang your head down. Go to webinars. If they make you feel good, they must make you feel good or you wouldn't be here. But get the truth. You go to a webinar and the truth is not being seen, or you get that gut feeling, that women's intuition. I think I have it. We know Krista because I think he is a woman. But anyway, you get that feeling where something's not right. Guess what? It's not right. It's never wrong. Think about it your whole life. You get this, and I wonder if that's right. It's usually not. My kids tell me, yeah, but Dad, how do I know when I'm doing something wrong? I said, if you have to question it, it's wrong. Old lady stand there and you help her across the street. Do you question it? No, because it's right. You see a $5 hanging out of a guy's pocket, you pull it, you got to, well, that don't look right. It's not. It's not brain surgery. It was put in our heads that way. You don't question right. You always question wrong. So if you go somewhere, you hear wrong, say, excuse me, I haven't heard that before. Where did you get that from? And hold people accountable. You'll hear me say, and I got the biggest mouth and I'm passive. You'll hear me say, I believe so. I'm pretty sure, maybe 90%. Even if I know something 100%, I think I do, I still don't usually say that because I don't want to deceive anybody. Some people are talking because they have the microphone and embellishing what they're saying. It's not necessary. We're going to be blown away. When we get the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, you're not going to believe it anyway. You don't need hype. You won't believe it. You're going to wake up every morning pinching yourself. Anyway, I talked longer than I wanted to. No, I didn't. I talked exactly as long as I wanted to. Chris is playing a game or something. He's not even listening to me. But that's all right. That's all right. Let me see. Let me finish it up because, they asked Ash, "Are you where you thought you'd be?" He said, "No, I thought I'd be where we are now, 10, 15 years from now." But the bigger Unpassive got, the bigger the movement got, it actually pushed Ash ahead where he wanted to go anyway. He's looking behind him. He's got this bigger and bigger train, more and more people, and good people. I don't hear as much about when's it going to launch, how much am I going to make, I don't hear it as much. Either they shut up or they quit. But really, let's give them look. It's not a lot to ask. To have the faith, the loyalty, say the right thing, help each other. A lot of people need help. There's older people that were brought in from friends and you guys. I'm not talking about Willow because she's sharper than all of us. I'm talking about other older people that can't do computers. They don't even know what you're saying. And I get in there and go, they're thinking, oh my God, this guy's an idiot. I don't want to hear what he has to say. Because I'm saying stuff easy because it's easy for me. But take the time, share it with people. What don't you understand? Sometimes you got to share a screen because you could talk and talk and talk. But once you show them. I know Peacock does that a lot. Lynn does. Everybody here, a lot of people here are helping other people behind the scenes. And that's what matters. Shout out to people like Big John, the barbershop man, Solomon. He's super, super helper. He does videos, but he's quiet. He's behind the scenes. Bill Musk, same thing. Tim Johnson. We're loaded with people that are superstars. No, they're not up top. They're not going, hey, 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 hey. I mean, come on. If we all did that, we'd be kicked off the internet. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to say. If you have any questions, dang, I talked a long time. My wife went to bed. She's really upset. Anyway, we got Bahama people here. There. That's a team, guys. They're small but powerful, let me tell you. Anyway, that's all I got. And any questions, I'll try to help if I can.
Marty, thank you so much. Once again, you say it as it is. You help us to understand. Thank you. Full of respect for you and all that you do for all of us. Thank you so much. I'm going to throw a couple of things out here, and then we will go to questions and answers. I know this might be a little long, and it just seems the type of night to cover these things and to help people understand as we now start to move into the next phase of it all. So I'm going to throw out something like, Marty touched on compliance. Ash mentioned that we do have a compliance department now. We don't actually have a section in the back office yet where you can contact compliance, but instead of sending something that doesn't seem right or you need to check on to Marty or Chris or anybody else that you know or feel that you need to check with, send it through to support, and in the subject line, put for compliance check or for compliance. Let's start feeding it to the right departments. We are all at the same level of knowledge, and therefore we're giving our own personal opinion whether something is right or wrong. We may not be accurate. So let's start using the tools that we're being given by Ash as well. The departments are being set up, and as the information comes forward into the proper sections in the back office, we can then shift where we actually send it to. But for now, let's send it to support, but put in the subject line for compliance, please, or for compliance evaluation. And that will then be sent by support to the proper department, and they will go through it. Put your name, put your email in the text that you're writing to them, just for quick reference, so that the person or people who work with compliance are able to respond to you quickly. Because through the sending from support, something might get lost in the transaction. So help them help you by putting your name and putting your email in it so that they can get back to you directly with an answer. The other thing is refunds. We talk about this now less and less, but there are still a few people who are not sure about ONPASSIVE. None of you have to take any verbal abuse. None of you have to take any abuse at all where it comes to this. And if somebody's not happy, just say it's very simple. Please give me your email. Let me have your full name. So send it to me in a text or a section, and it will be sent through to somebody who is in contact with that process, and they will be refunded within 24 to 48 hours. Ash has said refunds will happen. He doesn't want anybody in the company who is not happy with the company. So just make it very simple in your own way of talking to people and saying, when you hear the complaint starting, let them voice to a certain point, but then put it to them and say, if you are this unhappy and dissatisfied with the company, send me your email, and I'm making sure I have the correct spelling of your name, and those accounts or account will be terminated and you will be refunded. The process is very simple, and we've had people ask for that. They may come back later on, they may never come back, but you don't need to make life difficult and miserable for yourselves. Here's an interesting one. Those of you who watch the environment, we are an iceberg. And on Passive right now, we know 10% of what's going on and what is actually available and coming. Maybe not even that much. But what is with an iceberg? You only see a percentage above the waterline, and how much of an iceberg is underwater. So we have got so much coming to us as founders, as members of ONPASSIVE, that we will be shown, we will be told as the need is given to us, as the products are given to us, as the process continues. So don't think that what you're seeing right now is the end of it all. It's not. And Ash has said that to us as well. And the last one, and I'm going to ask Chris and Marty to weigh in on this as well. And then I promise we will go to questions and answers. Compound interest, compounding, to do with money and the banking systems. And you try and find an account now that will compound your interest to increase what you have. Ash used a term that's never been used in the business world before called compound marketing. Chris, Marty, will you please help and break that down and explain the interpretation of what that means relative to what we know?
Marty, go ahead. That's your specialty, brother.
And we're not talking about numbers, we're not talking about actual amounts, but we're talking about understanding how that system works.
As far as
If you
what,
can,
Robin? As far as what now? The compounding of what?
The correlation, the correlation of compound marketing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of touched on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Compound marketing, what it means is, what Ash is doing, compound marketing, a lot of companies that do a campaign and they tweak it and they're doing all this stuff. And then when that's over, they'll do another campaign or they'll try some other way, a newspaper, a radio, whatever. They try whatever they can, okay? With Mr. Mufara and his team, they say, well, we're going to do massive this. We'll tweak it as we go. But while we're doing that, we're going to start another one. And then while they're doing that one and they're tweaking, the first one's even better than it ever was, right? Because it's still running. The stuff that you see in Dubai is going to go on for over a year. So they're not going to stop, right? That's still going. Then he moves on to something else and maybe into newspapers, magazines, and other countries. And this goes on, and he's compounding his efforts. He's compounding everything he does. You know, it's like you want to leverage what you got going on. So if you start a viral effect, you stack on that viral, and then you've got organic. Now, when you get into organic, the workings of organic, I've had it happen to me one time in 18 years. We did a post. I've said this before. One time we advertised, it was just a little square. I can't even tell you exactly what it said. And it went viral. We got 1 million hits on it. It was shared by, I believe, 20,000 people. Well, every time it's shared, I didn't pay for that. And the company's not paying for that. So when you get into the viral and the company's paying for it, it's a killer. So they initially start something, then they're doing compounding, and then they get into the viral. Virals, he said, she said, he said, did you see this? Did you see this? No, did you see that? And when that's happening, that's advertising word of mouth that you started. And it won't be just compounding one thing. It's going to be many. It's going to be this type of advertising. Then they stack it on again. That we're going to go after this, and then they stack it on again, and then they move into, okay, people know ONPASSIVE. Okay, we get it. I get it. What is it? Now? Just like when they sold the iPhone, smartphone, first time, or every time, every year they come out with a new one, and they act like it's something new. But if you think about the iPhone, generation 7, generation 8, generation 9, there's not a lot of big changes, and they might stack on $200 or $300, but people have to have it, right? I mean, they gotta have it. They don't even think about the cost. Really, people, when they get in that frenzy, like, and the doors open, people tripping over each other to buy this $800 to $1,100 phone. What Ash is doing is getting into that effect so that when people hear, I saw that, well, they're open and now you can come in. Boom, baby. That's compounding. That's the effects of compounding. I love it. All that leveraging, compounding, viral marketing, branding. Because if you can brand, if you get the brand right, and when I mean right, like the swoosh in Nike, the golden arches in McDonald's, the bullseye in Target, the happy smile in Amazon, the apple with the bite out of it. I mean, we all know what that is. That's why they're trillion-dollar companies. The branding and the compounding. But I don't think anybody started like we did. In fact, I know they didn't. There's no way they started like we did. So it's a beautiful thing. I hope I covered that fairly well.
Thank you, Marty. All right, everybody, now it's over to you. We're going to ask you from what you heard this evening or other things that you've heard out there. What questions do you have that we can help you with to help sort something out that might be confusing to you yourself, or that you've heard that you're not sure if it's accurate or not somewhere out in the airspaces that we populate, or if you've got anything else specific to what we've just been talking about tonight and Monday's information from Ash. Chris, Marty, and I are here to help you. And then we know that you will then be able to help other people. And we appreciate all that you do to help us get that much further out into the Unpassive family. We have people here tonight from Singapore, from India, from the US, from Canada, from New Zealand, from the Bahamas. We have PNG with us. We have Australia. We have India. We have so many people from around the world, and we're so grateful for you to be here. So thank you so much. And the first one, please, William, if you would unmute yourself, and let's start with our questions from all of you.
Yes, hello, Robin. Hello.
Hi.
Yes, I would like to know the data center, if that comes forward tomorrow, will we have OConnect come out right away? Is that one of the products with OBlast? Because we need the data center for OConnect. Am I correct?
William, good question. Marty?
Yeah, well, here's the thing, William, you're 100% right. One thing is with OConnect, especially OConnect, with all of the, well, like you have here, it takes a lot of data and a lot of power to run a video conferencing like this, especially unlimited. And I believe Mr. Mapar did have meetings with AWS, which is Amazon, who does big hosting. And he had already had planned, he's going to build his own data center, but I think they were concentrating on how fast they need to do it. Anyway, they decide they need to do it really fast. Reason is, as soon as it's done, William, we can get OConnect put into it and turn the baby on. Now, right away, I don't know what right away is. In comparison, yeah, it'll be as quickly as we can, but it definitely has to be on for especially something like OConnect, OStaff, the big boys, because it uses a lot of data. The other thing is, when you're using something like OConnect, there's a lot of data that other companies would love to have because you're getting names and emails, right? Even if you invite somebody to OConnect, when they come in, they're probably going to give their name and email just like you do with Zoom. And with Zoom, they collect those names and emails, and I'm not saying what they do with them, but I'm sure that they make money off our names and emails. Let's put it that way. With us, we'll own it. It'll be safe. Nothing's going to be done with it because we're part of the family. But yeah, it'll be quick, but I don't know how quick, William. As soon as it's ready. But they definitely, and listen, they got the data center up pretty darn fast. If they do it anytime soon, I'm surprised it's even that close.
I would like to say too that OConnect will have lower bandwidth, which will help like things like the flickering and things
Oh,
of that
oh my,
nature.
yes, yeah. He said laser speed, laser speed. One thing you could say about O-Founders right now, how many times you see it go down? Never. Doesn't even blink. There were some wrinkles that they had to work on, but that happens every company. It doesn't blink. 100,000 people log in, 500,000 people log in, it doesn't blink. That's the power of what we have now. Imagine having our own data center where things are lightning speed and can handle anything we do. Yeah, William, there's no comparison.
That's why
Everything's
you
gonna
have
get,
my back, Marty.
yeah,
We're going to become fearless, all of us.
yeah, you're pretty fearless now, man. What's up?
Thank you, William. Joyce, if you would like to unmute yourself, please.
Hello, Robin. Hi, everyone. Good evening. I don't have a question or a complaint or any confusion. I'm just so super excited about what's going on. And I just want to thank Marty, Chris, Red, all the engineers and everyone that comes on and breaks everything down for us so that we understand it and just puts it all in perspective. Passive has just been a blessing. And, I'm just so excited about what's coming. And like it said, we don't even know 10% of what's going on. So, when all this happens, I'm not very techie, but I get out there and I listen to everyone and they break it down so well for us and help us to understand. And I just say to everyone, stay connected, get on webinars. If you can't get on everything, all of them, just listen in to the recordings, but stay connected. And if you are not a part of this massive, awesome, wonderful opportunity, please jump in before it closes. But just thank you to Mr. Ash Mafar for everything that you've done. And we're lifting up humanity. We're lifting up each other. And I get so much value. I've learned so much from Unpassive, and I just really appreciate it. And I'm so glad that God brought this into my life. And everyone have a blessed and wonderful evening, and go out and hug someone, love someone, give them a smile, and encourage someone along the way. Thanks, big brother, Chris and Marty. Oh, Marty, your number one fan says hello.
Oh, I know. I gotta tell you, tell Melvin what's up.
Exactly. He said, what's
number
up?
one fan out of 1,300,000 people.
Right.
Yes, Melvin, behind the scenes, loves big fat Marty. How do you like that?
Right.
Yeah, you tell him I said, what's up?
I will. Thanks, you guys. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Joyce. Also, to remember, when we do get these wonderful announcements from Ash about our new platforms or about new sections opening up, remember that there are 1.3 million of us, more than that now, and we are doing this across the world in 200 plus countries. So please realize that it might just take a couple of hours, because with everybody's excitement jumping on to look at it all at the same time, it might work flawlessly. But if there is a moment of delay or a little bit of an adjustment as we amp up, don't worry about it. Come back to it in a few hours and everything will be working. Maximum a day. So these are just the bits and pieces that we want to help you know, to help to reassure other people as well, because people start to panic when they don't see it the way they think it should be. And there are reasons for it. 1.3 million people and computers turning on at the same time. It's a lot, but we are there and we're getting better all the time. Bruno, if you'd like to unmute yourself, good evening.
Good evening, everybody. I'm from the exciting team from the Bahamas, and I'm really happy to be included in that team. And we have fantastic webinars going on constantly, and we help each other as much as we can. I have a question to the point about the address books that we maintain in our computers. Is it at this time still too early to upload our address books into ONPASSIVE?
Bruno, I would say yes at the moment, but I'm going to see if Marty has an addition to that. I would still give it just a little bit longer to make sure that the sections that are fully active. But Marty, maybe you want to add something to that?
Yeah, Bruno, you can add one, one at a time. About bulk adding, I think that's going to be, well, here's the thing. If they reset things when we move over to onpassive.com, those names might be lost. But the other thing, keep in mind, and this is really important, bulk adding people by bulk, like name and email, it can be dangerous. Let me give an example why. Yeah, you have a list, you have people and all that, and it might be a great list. But for the last 3 years, I threw away 40,000 people a year. Okay, easily. Because what happens with a list, a name and an email, they become obsolete. In other words, Fred Smith, when he signed up to look at what I had in June of last year, by November, he doesn't want to hear anything about it, or he's in Unpassive. So you got to be careful. And people change emails, things happen, and then you wind up what you call spamming people. Now, you're not initially thinking about doing that. Anytime I send an email, even if I don't use an autoresponder, on the bottom of it, I always put, if you no longer want to receive emails from me, reply to this email stating, please remove. And people do that, you're pretty cool. You stay cool. But adding bulk would mean that Ash would have to double check that everybody's email is legit. I had many people, guys and women, mainly guys, women smarter than we are. But anyway, a lot of guys will go out and buy a list by the thousands. I've seen people buy 30,000 emails and names. They're happy, they're jumping for joy. Most of the time, they're garbage. They're absolute garbage. I can go out and get email. In fact, some providers, here's what they do. They buy them for pennies on the dollar, and then they sell them at a higher cost. That's how they make their money. Even when I use the solo ad, I would only use the solo ad from a provider that produced the lead. They actually physically set up something that the lead came to them. Lead meaning the name and the email. Because I didn't trust people that didn't build their own list because they bought a list cheap and sold it to somebody for more money. And I started sending those out 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 12 years ago. And you're getting, stop spamming me. I'm going to report you. Leave me alone. I mean, you don't want to hear that. And I know if you get a lot of those from the email service in the back office, and it starts to get marked as spam, it's not good. It's not good. So I don't know what the limits will be, but like Robin said, I would wait a little bit, Bruno. And if you add them manually, even when you add them, Bruno, and this goes for everybody, this is my experience. Send them an email, like I said, hey, how you doing? This is so and so. I've chatted with you, blank. I'd like to keep a line of communication. Maybe send them a video. But at the bottom of it, because you don't have an autoresponder, say at the time, hey, look, if you're not interested in receiving from me, let me know and I'll stop it right away. A lot of times people, I don't get a lot. I mean, even I sent out, I've been sending out 1,000 emails a day, right? The last few days. And every one of them I say that, I bet I had 5 or 6 that said, stop sending me. So I was fortunate, but they're they're not aggressive emails. They're just very easy. Like, hey, how you doing? Hey, this came up. I wanted to keep you updated. Boom, and I give them a video or something like that. So try to do that to keep your emails fresh. That's what I mean. But yeah,
Okay.
I think there'll be something like that, Bruno. But I don't want people to go out there and think, oh, I could put 50,000 emails. I had a guy show me 300,000 emails and names, and he had a book. He flipped the book open for me. He's a wealthy man. I said, yeah, but that means nothing to me.
Yeah.
Well, how can you say that? I built this whole list. I said, well, if there's anything in that list more than 6 months old, a lot of them are worthless. We haven't had a conversation since because he took it personal. But it's just the way it is. It's just the way it goes. So you got to be careful.
Well, I'm really excited to look forward to see an email address management coming up in ONPASSIVE, because I try manually, let's say, everything that I don't use longer than a year ago, I try to knock out, because most of them, as you said, they are either obsolete or they're no longer there. So I try them on a manual basis. On the other hand, also, what about backup of address books? Is that going to be covered also in?
Oh, yeah, I believe so. Once you're building a list, yeah, I think you can back it up. You can download it on your computer and hold it. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, I'm almost positive. Hear what I said? I'm pretty sure, but not 100%. Hey, the other thing, keep in mind, Gmail, you can send 300, 400 emails a day.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you won't have the names, but when you word the email, you don't word it with the name. You talk to people like, they know who you're talking to. Like, hello, how you doing? And then the rest of your email. But you could do 350, 400 a day with no problem. So if you have 5 or 6 accounts, that's a lot of emails you can send out. And then just keep track of them when they come back, because you could put the emails in alphabetical order. If somebody comes back and his email starts with A, you go in there. If he said, take me up, I erase it, boom, I'm done. Keep it simple.
Yeah, thank you. I'm looking forward to see an email address book management. That's
Oh, yeah,
what I'm
me too.
looking for.
No, me too. No doubt,
Yep.
no doubt about it.
Thank
I
you.
agree with you 100%.
Thank you. I think Robin had to step out for a sec. Robin, are you there? Mirthlin, go ahead. Unmute yourself, please.
Hello, everyone. This question doesn't really have anything to do with tonight's debate, but there's something that Mr. Ash said 2 weeks ago about founders staying engaged. My thing is, if you have position for people and they don't know about it, how does that affect their accounts?
Mirthlin, will you get that, Marty?
Yeah. Go ahead. If you got it, go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I'm paying attention to the board right now. It's messing me
Oh,
up.
okay. Marthelin, here's what I want to say. There's people out there that have 2 or 3 jobs and they can't be as tied in as you are, for example. You might even have people on your team that aren't. My family's not as tied in as I am, obviously. They're just not. But they know what's going on. Like they check every once in a while. Keep in mind, I know there's people out there that have teams that got in, they paid the 97, and you never saw them again. Okay, the company also knows that. If they're in the system, they signed their NDA, they did the right thing, they're going to be in the system and they're going to make money just like everybody else. That's the way the system's set up. The part that Ash was saying is, I don't have to, he said, I don't have to pay any commissions on the physical products. But I want you to keep in mind, I have a factor on how I think above on passive pay system. So don't say nobody's not getting paid. I'm not saying that. Everybody will do very well. But I think as time goes on, if there's more things to offer the founders, I believe he's going to go by that criteria of what did you do? Are you engaged? Look, when Ask comes to a meeting, he sees who's here. When he goes to other webinars, he watches webinars. He watches YouTube every day, as far as I know, every day. He knows who's there. He knows who's not there. He sees posts in the back office. He sees comments on YouTube. He sees people that are making images. He knows all that. He knows it 100% of what's going on. So don't worry about that. I mean, they know. And there will be some people that just aren't that engaged. All I say is try to keep them updated, but don't treat people like babies. If they get left behind, the company has no intentions on with anybody being left behind. But we also, I don't think we owe it to baby people. I really don't. So share with what you got. Try to keep them engaged, but if they're in the system, they did the right thing. They got an email. They have access. They pay when they're told to pay for the subscription. They're going to be in the system. The system is not emotional. It'll pay everybody according to how they should be paid. So don't worry about that. I know a lot of people panicked and said, hey, I can't make it. There's people here that make maybe 1 or 2 a week or 2 weeks because they can't be here.
Excuse me, Marty. I was talking about people who don't know that they have an account. You know, you have accounts for people and they don't know about it.
So then, Merton,
That's what I
don't
was
worry.
referring to. If they don't know, then they can't be engaged.
So then you don't worry about it because you have it as a gift for them. Do you have
Yes.
access to do you have access to their account?
Yes.
Okay, so you know what you can do? Once a week, you can log into the account. And that shows the account has been active. Now, if you choose, if they want to know, let's put it this way. If you haven't told them yet because you're just waiting until ONPASSIVE launches, that's fine. You don't have to tell them anything. If you have spoken to them and they know about the position, but they don't know what to do or how to do it, then you can have a chat with them once a week or so, once every couple of weeks, just to keep them up to date with what's going on. Or if you prefer at this time just to log into the account, just so that it shows that it's an active account and somebody's in and out, that's all right too. So don't worry. We're not going to tell your secret. We're not going to break the secret that you've made to give somebody a gift, but you can also help them because you know what your gift is. So you just open it up, just go in, look around, and then you can come out of it again. Because all of that is registered within the account itself to know that it is active and everything is all right. Then later on, when you tell them about it, depending when you do that, you still have control of the account until you hand it over to them. You can then tell them a little bit more or show them how to do it themselves as well. Does that help you?
Thank you so kindly. I was kind of thinking about it and how to go about it. So I said, I need to ask because I'm always here and I might be helping myself and helping someone else.
Oh no! Now
that
I understand. Look, I've got grandchildren in. All my grandchildren in. They don't know what's going on. They're not going to webinars. So I'm sorry I didn't understand what you were saying. I run it for them and I'll hand it to them whenever. Right? You're doing the same thing. Yeah. That's not. It's exactly what Robin said. I misunderstood what you wanted. I told Chris to answer.
Thank you. I love you still, Marty. Thank you, guys.
Oh, thank God, because
Robin.
Wonderful.
Robin,
yes, Chris.
Let's do real quick. Everyone, it's later. Everyone do a shake up. Wake yourselves up. Again, a lot of people say people are getting dozy. Let's get everyone waking up.
Wake up. Let's wake up.
All right.
Fire. Hey.
All right,
David,
Robin, go ahead.
David,
Sorry.
you forgot to say fire. Come on. Wake up, David. Come on.
Everybody throw a kiss to Chris.
Oh, geez. Robin, hurry up. Take it back. Take it back, Robin.
Hey, William, I want to throw something at Chris, but it's not a kiss, okay? I'll do it later.
Thanks, Chris. I've been told that my voice has a tendency to put people to sleep. The one good thing out of that is that I know people still hear the voice as it carries through to them in their dreams. So I'm pleased we woke everybody up. Raphael, if you would like to unmute yourself, please. What would you like to say, ask, or comment on?
Hi, all, Raphael here. On the same topic that Marilyn posed just now, is it if a founder has multiple accounts, all of them are different emails, but they're all registered under the same IP address, the same system, would that make a difference? That's my question.
Absolutely not, because that's how mine are. I did all my accounts on my IP address, my grandchildren, everyone. No problem.
Yes, what I was asking is if the system would show that that particular IP address is always active, even though you're not going in under those particular emails. That's what I'm asking.
No, it'll be fine.
Okay.
It'll be okay.
Okay, the question was asked in our webinar, local webinar on Tuesday night, so I'm just getting clarification on it.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Thank you.
Raphael, I would say, because I have similar situations similar to yours, I would say, and personally I do this, I just log into them once a week. I log into the ones that are not as active as anything else, just so that it's shown as an active. The system knows, but I just do that for my own feeling of comfort or whatever, to reassure myself. But as Marty says, the system knows, so it's all right either way. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Good night. David Rozalski, if you'd like to unmute yourself, welcome to the webinar this evening.
Hey, how you doing? I was just wondering, I have a quick little question. As far as like the angels go, I started up an LLC and I'm going to have a business going for all of that. I'm not a techie, so I was wondering if there is a way, or possibly could be a way at some point, like if I needed to have somebody come in and use the tools to, you know, get me a website and set up what I needed to do. My question is there, or could there be a way to cordon off like the profile section and the wallet section, so that, you know, no monkey business can happen? You know, they can get in there, but, you know, they just get in, do what they need to do, and possibly, you know, and get out.
David, no, and no. You don't let anyone into your back office, period. That is your money and everything at risk. You're going to have something called Create, and Marty, help me along. You're going to be able to do all this by yourself. That's how easy it is. Marty, help me out with this one. Unmute yourself though first, you ding dong.
See, you got to learn patience. I want to call Chris a name, but I'm not going to. See, I've come a long way. I'm thinking it, but I'm not going to say it. Anyway, David, the Create is going to be super easy, man. You need no technical ability. Actually, what will happen, there'll be many, many templates in there. And let's say there's one that kind of what you want, but not 100%. You can drag and drop anything you want. Pictures, wording, you could change words. You can make it so that you understand it. You can get somebody to help you. Like example, if I make a page and it works really well, right? I have traffic running to it and I'm working with someone else, I can take the code from that and give it to somebody else, and they can put it in theirs and add their registration and do all that. I think that'll be going on all the time, by the way. I think that'll be going on all the time. But I asked about coding, and he almost ripped my head off, because he said, no, there'll be no coding. We're making it easy. Because I said something about the tracker. Do you have to put coding? No. Drag and drop. That's it. Everything you like you're copying, except you push the mouse down, you drag it over, drop it, and you can make any page you want. You'll see. Super easy.
Awesome. Because I was worried about that, because my tech ability maxed out when Pong came out.
No, that's okay, David. It'll be where anybody can do it.
Okay, cool.
Anybody, no doubt about it.
And just a warning, guys, keep that warning. You do not give anyone access to your back office whatsoever. And the only way I want you to give access to someone is in your will. Do not give anyone access. Do you understand the importance of the protection Unpassive is doing for you? And if you're going to give away your stuff, please don't do that. Very dangerous. I believe you'll lose a lot of apples if you do it that way. So just remember that. Robin, I'm sorry, back to you.
Perfect. This is absolutely important information that people need to be aware of. And doing this now and getting this information now is way ahead of helping when we actually get into those situations. David, lastly, just to add to what you've been saying this evening, there will be webinars, there will be people doing help sets, videos and things like that as all of this happens. So don't worry, you will have a lot of support. I am not a techie either, and I'm really looking forward to learning how to do this and seeing how easy it is from my side as well. We're in there together. Don't worry, you won't be alone.
Awesome. Always looking to learn too, so that'll be fun.
Wonderful. David Schweitzer, if you'd like to unmute yourself, please. What would you like to tell us this evening?
Oh, I can't talk real good. I just had a tooth pulled today, so I've got a stiff jaw on my side here. But I just Now, I've been on Passive for over 3 years now, and I know a lot about on Passive. I've been in it for 3 years, and I've heard every one of you guys talk, and I'm so happy to be a part of this family. And just let you guys know, I love getting and like Marty or Chris will give me a hard time once in a while, and I love it. And even Judy too, I love Judy and all that. And I love everybody. I love all Unpassive people. But I know it kind of maybe irritates you guys a little bit because I just sit here and don't say anything, and I don't tell you what's on my mind. But sometimes it's hard to me to open up because of the lifestyle I've had in my lifetime. So, I'm not going to tell you my lifetime story, but someday I'd like to tell my story someday. That way you understand my lifetime story. But, but anyhow, I love Unpassive. I really enjoy Unpassive. I just, I get these blank spots in my head sometimes. I don't know what to say. I just can't help that because it's just what I had, what I went through in my lifetime. I'm proud of myself, what I've done in my lifetime. So, and I had a rough life, and I had to work hard. I know we've all had rough life in our lives, but I would have been able to be loved to do what some of you people can do, and some of that stuff, I'm limited what I can do. So I have a little bit of, I'll tell you, I have a little bit of literature, and I have to deal with that every day of my life. I had to deal with that all my whole life and my school life. And so, but I never give up on myself. I'm proud of myself. I'm not a quitter. I've never been a quitter in my lifetime. It's kind of embarrassing to go to, like I say, if you want to go fill out an application for a job, and you're sitting there filling out this application, and you can't spell the words, or you really can't write down what you want to say because you have this problem. I've had this problem all my life, but there's nothing I can do with it. I just have to learn how to live with it. So anyhow, but I've never been a quitter. I mean, I've done a lot of good things in my life. So, and I'm proud to be on Unpassive, and I'm proud to have all you for my friends. And I've learned a lot in Unpassive. You kind of bring me out of my shell a little bit. Hell, I didn't get married till I was 40. So, I kind of like the party life a little bit. I used to go out and party a little bit. Of course, I was a shy guy too, Some girls, if some woman talked to me, I go melt in the corner somewhere, Wow, she talked to me, so anyhow, but yeah, I love all you guys, and I enjoy being Passive, and maybe someday I'll tell you my story and what I went through in my life a little bit, but I don't want to bore you with my story. I mean, I've done a lot of good things in my lifetime, and I'm proud of what I've done. And so anyhow, and like I say, if I don't talk too much once in a while, it's not because I don't like to talk. You guys are a little bit better than I am a little bit. I'm just, I don't think of myself being, like I say, I'm getting a little speechless here, but I am proud of what I've done to myself, and I'm proud of every one of you. And I'm looking forward to see what happens with Unpassive in the future.
David Switzer.
What?
You come a long way, brother. And I've heard your story, and I'm very proud of what you become. And I get those blank spots too. Nobody is better or nobody is worse. Every one of us just have different ways of our expressing ourselves. And brother, you just express yourself. You got it in you. I've been watching your lives. They're really good. Just keep doing what you're doing. Listen, if you think I want to be like Marty DeGarmo, I do, but I know I can never be Marty DeGarmo. I know I can never be Narelle Warcon or Cynthia Brown. All I know is Chris Johnson, but all you know is David Switzer, and I'm great with that. So David, keep going. All right. I think you got a great life story because I've heard it. You are the man. Don't you forget that. And man, if I would have waited till I was 40 to get married, I might still be married. But, I got married young, but you just keep going, David. We love you. Thanks you, brother.
David, you're amazing. Thank you so much. And I think the Tooth Fairy has been really, really busy these last few days. Hope you feel better soon. Narelle, if you would like to unmute yourself, please. And what would you like to say to us tonight?
Thank you, Robin, Marty, Chris, everyone who's here. As you all know, I've been away for a little bit and recovering from COVID. Quite a few of my family went down after Easter, and thank you everyone for your prayers and your thoughts. It really is appreciated. Now, I want to firstly share that I have sponsored 2 positions, one for a gentleman in Uganda who looks after orphans, no orphanage, just very down and out. Another lady was in South Africa. The thing is, you talk about how people plug in, stay plugged in and things like that. Now, before we went over to our founders and we had no OTP or one-time password, I was able to log into their accounts, and I did that daily. And I knew that, I was doing the right thing for them. Now, the thing is, once we went over to OFounders and that one-time password came in, I could no longer do that because I had set those accounts up in their emails, because this was actually a gift from me to them. I didn't want to have a part or play a part in just throwing money at people. I wanted them to be able to choose what they could do in their communities because they knew it best. The thing is, what excites me and delights me is that, they both contact me regularly. And I mean, sometimes daily, sometimes weekly, but they both have been active. They plug in. You know why? Because it's their sponsor. Yes, me. And I'm not going to big note myself here, but I'm talking about sponsors. What are you passing on to the people that you have signed up? This is something that we should all be thinking about. If you're just in it for you, then that's all you're going to see is you. But if you're in it for the people that you really wanted to change their lives, then this is where it comes into helping those people understand what is important. Now, they can't go to webinars because their data usage is, it costs them a fortune. So to watch a video is very difficult for them. Timing is not always right, or, sometimes they just don't have any electricity or anything like that. But, reach out to those people that you have signed because you saw something in them. Reach out and let them know that it's okay as long as they're plugging in, logging in, and they're so excited to tell me that they're logging in. That I just love. The other thing I wanted to share, Marty spoke about iPhones. Now, I watched something and did a little research the other day on iPhones. Now, say the newest iPhone has one of the best cameras, or they're selling it as 12 megapixels, whatever the heck it is. All we want to know is that it works and that it's better than the last one that we had. The thing is how they sell that, how they market it, this is going to take the best pictures of your scenery, your family, your baby. They sell it as not the phone itself or the what's new in the phone, but what it's going to do for you. Now, what I see with ONPASSIVE is they and Marty shares and Ash shares so much about the value. That's something that I think that we all need to revisit. Have a look at the value, not, hey, there's this and that, and what it can do for people, how it can change the way they think about what they're doing in their lives. So I just wanted to share that today. Thank you. I don't have any questions. I'm coming back, trying to pop in wherever I can, listen in. I'm still needing lots of rest, but I'm getting back there, feeling 100% better than what I had been. So thank you very much.
Good for you, Narelle. Continue to get well, and it's good to see you back again. Thank you for what you were adding to this evening as well. We had Roberts Rome had his hand up, and I saw that he left, but I'm not sure if he's left the webinar. So Roberts, if you are somewhere in the panel, if you want to put your hand back up again, we'll bring you on. But in the meantime, I'm going to go to John White first. Ask you, John, you've unmuted, you're ready. And then we'll see if Roberts Romy is here as well. John, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, sisters and brothers of ONPASSIVE. I've noticed what we're doing with the webinars, when we do lives, what we were doing before Dubai, we were actually branding ONPASSIVE. Each and every webinar that's positive and upbuilding, people are going to remember the brand. unpassive. That's why it's important to remember to always stay positive, always be in the now so that we can take advantage of what is ahead of us. Mr. Mafari, in all of his wisdom, created a vehicle that makes all of us equal, guys. We're on the same level. And the reason why we're on that same level is that this automatic marketing wonder, ONPASSIVE, is working for us each and every day. It's working for us 24 hours a day. Someone on this earth is working for us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's an ongoing process. So what we've got to do is have the mindset of Mr. Mafari. He has the ability to see where we are going to be as opposed to where we are. And once we do that, then everything will come really easy for us. So keep this in mind. There's poverty, this is where we are, then there's prosperity. ONPASSIVE is that bridge that takes us from poverty to where we are to prosperity. And we get it monetarily, we also get it in a spiritual nature, because once we're satisfied, that brings on joy. And there's nothing better than to have 1.3 million joyous, positive founders in ONPASSIVE. And I want to thank Mr. Mafari and all of the staff and everyone that I've met. We had the twins, Dane and Darius. They're the ones who introduced me to ONPASSIVE, May the 11th, 2020. And I've been excited ever since then. I've met some extraordinary people. I'm meeting more and more. And I'd like to thank my buddy, Bill Musk. He's not feeling well, but you can't tell it because you see his images all over the place. Tim Johnson is another that I work real closely with, and I love both of them as brothers. So be proud of what you have, and never forget that ONPASSIVE is so much bigger than any of us. I want you to keep this in mind. Stop looking at ONPASSIVE as a company. Look at ONPASSIVE as an industry, just like the internet. Thank you.
Thank you, John, very much. Willow, if you would like to unmute, please. What would you like to say to us tonight?
Oh, I've got so many things, but I'll be good, Robin. I'll keep it to 2 minutes if I can. First of all, Mr. White, when I saw you in that lovely photo of Jehu, I decided to tell my husband to go out and buy my stepladder because I'm going to need it when I hug you. I'm going to meet you before this is all over with. And I'll come right probably to your belt buckle. But I adore what you are doing with Mr. Musk and Tim Johnson. I don't think enough is said about the Johnson family. They're the most wonderful, loving group of people. When I first met people on ONPASSIVE, Bonnie, his mother, oh, they're wonderful people. I can't say enough good things about them, John. But what I really wanted to address was our friend, Mr. Switzer. I have been in the same webinars with David for a long, long time. He came in not too long after me. And let me tell you, the other day I was writing some things and I couldn't remember how to spell with, W-I-T-H. It just was not there in my brain. And I had to think a minute, well, how do you Google with and you don't know how to spell it, you know? I laughed at myself for 20 minutes and then finally, dingo, there it was with all of us go through especially at 80 years of age, we're going to go through with those little spacey moments that we have in life. And I've learned to just laugh at me. And, you know, when I stand in front of my refrigerator and wonder what the hell I'm doing there, you know. So I just want you to know, David, I love you. And I love your family, and I love what you do. And don't ever quit, because you have an original way of waking us up when we need to be woke up. You're like our Marty. You tell us right straight from the hip how you feel. And if we don't like it, you know, we could take a flying leap. But you're honest and genuine, and we know it. So don't ever stop doing what you're doing. Now with me, I'm starting on a new adventure like my friend Norel is doing. And I'm loving it because I'm learning about myself. And when I worked in all these different places where I worked, I left some piece of me there, you know. And I'm hoping when my time is over that I have left some peace in everybody's heart that we work with on ONPASSIVE, because it is bigger than all of us, bigger than anything we can envision. And every time I learn something more, I'm more elated. And call me a silly old woman. I don't care what you call me. I've been called better names than that. But I think that we are probably the best group of people I've ever been involved with. And I hope it continues to be so. And that includes you, my friend David, and Eric. Eric, too, I think he's here tonight. He doesn't come on too often, and every once in a while he'll step up to the plate. But I think we're all originals, and we each shine with a different light. So we got to remember together to turn on our lights, because people are watching. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Willow, so much. Marcienne, if you would like to unmute, please. What would you like to say this evening?
Yeah, thank you so much, Robin. And I just want to thank everybody and also say that we all have our own part. We might not know how to do video, but let us share video from everybody. You know, yeah, we have so much video. We might not know how to explain or to say anything about ONPASSIVE, but the picture or the video that you have out there, he said it all. When you share those videos, they go very far. We are all in some kind of form of social media. Let us copy this video and share it in blog. We don't have to be the one doing it. We just have to share it with happiness. And it's going to go very far, very, very far. They do that for us. And I really thank you guys. And Robin, you did a video about Academy. Believe me, is beautiful. I mean, that video, the voice on it is calling you to get into this application of Academy. And Marty, he does a lot of video. I share what every time I see a video out there, I just put a button of share. That particular place of share is there for a reason. Let us do our own part. I think we don't know how to speak to people, but we know how to push that button of sharing. Let us share this great company to everybody around the world. That's the only way we can make ourselves known, by sharing. Thank you guys so much for having me tonight. Thank you.
Merci, Marcienne. Always beautiful. Thank you so much. James, if you would like to unmute yourself. Thank you for joining us from PNG tonight.
James,
can you unmute yourself, James?
Lower left corner, James. Look for that microphone if you're at a computer. There he goes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Hello?
can. Good evening. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Robin. first of all, I'd like to thank the wonderful leadership council members, especially Marty Digamu, Mike Hellis, and Dan Street, not forgetting all the other leadership members. I'm just simply new to here on this panel. It's the first time that I'm appearing now. And I have attended many of the webinars as an attendee, but this is my first time as a panelist. I'm a working employee, and the most of the times my times are occupied by my job, and sometimes I have to sacrifice getting into various adjust my time to get into various webinars. But right at this very moment, I just skip out of my job to get into this panel here. So I just want to thank each and every one of the founders. We as founders, we are making up this team, and that's why we are here. So I have only a question to ask, but I just joined ONPASSIVE less than 6 months ago through Dan Street. I'd like to thank Mike Ellis, Marty Digamu, and Dan Street because there was an email in my email inbox that took their 3 names. And when I registered myself, I came under Dan Street. And I'd really like to thank the 3 most senior leaders of council members because of their very hard work, we become as a family of ONPASSIVE. I'm actually under Dan Street. If Dan Street is in the panel, I'd like to really thank you so much. I've never had a time to thank you, each and every one of the leadership council members, but this is my opportunity here that I'd like to take this time to thank each and every one of you. Thank you. I have a little less than 20 members at the back of me. I'd really like to get most of my my family members, extended family members, and those who I have an opportunity getting in touch with them. But just because I have been in many various unsuccessful MLM companies in my previous times, it doesn't actually give me an opportune time to talk to each and everyone. But as time goes, we'll try to work out the quality members as I see now. So my question is, within the less than 20 members that I signed for them, most of them they are not literate, and they can't get into emails, creating email accounts, and all that we are doing right now, especially on the IT stuff. But I'm just looking after them, taking care of their needs and everything. And a few of them are away from the location where I am, especially they are from different provinces, but they just want to be ONPASSIVE, and I sign them on. But they seem to be causing, experiencing problems as we all are facing now. But we tend to help them, and we are getting on this cruising with ONPASSIVE now. And my question is, among those that I've signed in, I've signed some of my family members, and one of the registrations that I took upon was under my small business name, and that business name includes letters and numbers as well. But when I registered, typed in the name, it only took up the letters, and the numbers got missed in there. Like the small business name is Vision 3000 Limited. And when I typed in its name, it came as Vision Limited and the numbers got missing. So I just like to ask, when doing our KYC and facial recognition and all this stuff, later in our founders or when we're getting closer to our launching, what would happen? And I'm not really confused, but I just really like to know what, because my full name of the business is now there, missing the numbers. Because the numbers are included within my business certificate.
James, when you
Yes.
when you can, would you please send an email? Marty, is it all right for you? If you would please send an email to Marty. I've written down your business name and your name, but if you could help and send a message to Marty in an email format with your name and your business name as it should be, and he will help to forward it through to see if they can adjust it and put it in correctly. The fact that your company is registered properly in PNG the way it should look may not be a problem for you with the KYC, but we will find out for you, and we will help you accordingly. Is that all right?
Thank you very much, Robin. I'll do that.
Hey, James, I sent you my email in the chat. My email's there. You write me, give me all the information like Robin said, and we will take care of you. We'll get it straightened out that you understand, and we'll get it right. I promise.
Okay,
and James,
thank you very much, Marty.
And James, you might be helping us with a little glitch that we're not familiar with either. So what you're doing is we're going to help you, but you might also be helping us unknowingly. So thank you for this question. Thank you for being with us in PNG. And thank you for looking after your team members so well, because again, PNG is such an example to the rest of us in the world on how to help their team members, how to bring people in and how to help them stay connected and to understand what ONPASSIVE is all about. Thank you so much. And you are with a very good person. Dan Steele is an amazing man. We love Dan Street completely. So I know he was on here earlier. We've not been able to talk for a while, but I know he's just fabulous. So thank you for everything that you are doing over there in PNG. Can we help you with anything else tonight?
I think probably that's all I have for now.
Hey, James, make sure you come back, okay? You come back when you can. I'm glad you're here.
Well, Marty, I'd really like to become as a panelist, but my job doesn't allow me, especially during the day.
Whenever you can. Whenever you can. And remember, we're recorded. And do you know that we do webinars in Papua New Guinea every Saturday night for Sunday, which is 2 o'clock Sunday for you?
Yes, I'm aware.
Okay, good. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you, James, so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Our last two speakers, our last two panelists are going to be speaking this evening are Key and then Michael. And then we'll do closeout comments from Marty, Chris, and myself. So Key, if you would help us and unmute, please.
Thanks, Robin. I'm at work, guys, so I'll be here until a nurse calls me. That's a joke. I want to take a second just to a trust experiment, and I want 15 seconds of your time. Then I'm going to ask you a question. So, Mark. $10. 15. In those 15 seconds, how many times did you consciously tell your heart to beat? Honestly. Did anybody have to consciously say heartbeat?
No.
You didn't. How many of you consciously had to say, brain, breathe? Take a deep breath. How many of you? None. So you trust that your mind and your heart is going to do for you and keep you alive. Do you understand how that works? No, but it works. And you're alive, and you keep breathing, and your heart keeps beating, and you keep going. Trust and believe, folks. ONPASSIVE is going to do the same. That's all I got.
Dang, Key. Drop the freaking mic.
Yeah, that's one of those words that I can't say, but well done, Keith. Thank you. Marty won't let me say it.
I'm crazy.
No, not that one. Michael, if you would like to unmute yourself, please.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, our leaders. This was an excellent webinar. All of our leaders have said it all. But what I want to bring is a little bit different. What I'm saying is, we are not just looking at ONPASSIVE. Even if we go to the global launch, to the global community, we are still ONPASSIVE, and we'll keep on. There is another stage of this journey, which we'll be preparing ourselves to be resellers. It is not ended, right? So even if we go to the global launch, we go to the world, the public start using our stuff, we are not done. We have to still sell. We have to take all the opportunities to make that money in this company. We need to make those revenue. Everything that will fail in our life, this is how the time that we need to put our forces together to make it happen in our life, all of us. So people who are not really getting engaged, they don't see anything beautiful in ONPASSIVE because why? They are not engaged. But when you get engaged, the time flies. You don't ever know. Some days you go 1, 2, 3, 4 webinars. You don't ever know how time goes. So as you go engage yourself more, you get more of the inside of ONPASSIVE and you get involved. So we are not living, this first stage is coming, we're going to another stage. There will be another stage when we are already in the public, when we'll be trying to be resellers. And how do we do that? We have to start learning now. Learn our products, learn the basic computer skills that we are. I mean, we have so many leaders who have so amazing webinars that they do that, okay? I used to have mine on Sundays at 11 Eastern time. People can come and learn to make your own YouTube channels, to make your own slides. That is still growth, okay? So that is a way that we can help ourselves for the next journey, which is coming, preparation for the next journey. So that when it reaches us, we don't say, oh, had I known. No, the time is now. Let's prepare. It's a preparation time. Thank you very much, Robin.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike, very much. David, you are the absolute last person. You're slipping in right under the wire. So please unmute yourself. And what would you like to say this evening?
Yes. Yeah, and to say thank you to all our respected founder, your profound word and wisdom from all of you. Just I have to share something as recently said in the webinar that sky is not the limit. Again, repeating, sky is not the limit. Sky is our base and sky is where we start. You know what? Now we are 1.3 million. We ourselves, we are a mini world and very powerful, positive, dynamic people, all we are. And this positive force is changing the world slowly, gradually. Thank you very much.
David, thank you. What a wonderful way to end this evening's webinar. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here with us this evening. I'm going to see if Chris wants to say anything. Unmute yourself. Last words, Chris.
Good night. You're all very lucky and blessed. And I love you. Back to you, Robin.
And we're going to see if Marty has any last words.
No, kind of shy and I'm just kidding. Anyway, yeah, David, you're a superstar, so stop saying you're not. Robert, you can build a page with Create. Everybody else, you're fantastic. Willow, I want to be like you when I get big. I mean, older. And everybody else, John, you know, you're a wise man, and I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody here. I can't think of one person that hasn't done something that makes me happy. That's all I have.
Thanks, Marty. So everybody, thank you so much. You are amazing. We so appreciate you being here with us every Thursday night. We will be back again next Thursday. And so I will leave you with this. We accept each other. We respect each other. We stand together. We are unpassive. For our highest good and the highest good of all. Stay safe, and we all look forward to seeing each other next Thursday night. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good week. Good night.
Bye. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you, Robbie.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Everyone, have a good weekend.
Bye, everyone.
Everybody.
Hey, everyone. Great to be here. Thanks, Robin.
Love you all.
Super unicorn.
Hi, Marty.
Bye, Chris. Bye, Willow. Bye, Judy. Bye, everyone. Bye, Mike. Bye. Good night. Bye. John.
We could sing the Unpassive song. We are unpassive.
From the great state of Yes, how are you?